My name is Riley Carter. I'm 31 years old, and the day my family decided to celebrate kicking me out, they turned it into a full-blown backyard party, like it was some kind of victory parade. I pulled up to the house I'd been living in for years, just trying to grab the last of my stuff, and the first thing I saw was a giant banner stretched across the porch. Finally free. Big, bold letters. Red. Loud. Impossible to miss. There were people everywhere. Neighbors, cousins, even folks I barely recognized. Music blasting, burgers on the grill, drinks in hand. It looked like the kind of party people throw when someone graduates or gets engaged. Except this one was about me leaving. Someone near the fence laughed and said, "Guess she finally ran out of excuses." Another voice, louder, "About time she stopped leeching off her family." And then someone clapped, like actually clapped. I stood there for a second, keys in my hand, trying to figure out if this was real or some kind of messed up joke. It wasn't. My older brother saw me first. He nudged my dad, like, "Yo, she's here." And just like that, all eyes turned toward me. My dad didn't look embarrassed, didn't look uncomfortable. He smiled. Not a kind smile, not even a neutral one. That kind of smile people wear when they think they've finally proven a point. "Well, look who showed up," he said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Come to grab the rest of your free ride?" People laughed. I didn't. Because the craziest part, they believed it. Every single one of them. They believed I was the problem, the burden, the one who had been carried. I didn't argue, didn't defend myself, didn't raise my voice. I just walked inside. The house looked the same, but it felt different, like it didn't belong to me anymore. Or maybe it never did. My last box was sitting by the stairs. Someone had written on it in marker, "Start Over Kit." Inside, cheap noodles, a dollar store notebook, and a used mug with a crack down the side. Cute, real thoughtful. I picked it up, walked back outside, and for a split second, I paused. Then I took out my phone and snapped a picture. The banner, the crowd, my dad standing front and center like he'd just won something. He saw me take it and laughed. Gonna post that? Let people know the truth for once? I looked at him and said the only thing I'd say that entire day. Yeah, something like that. Then I got in my car and left. No yelling, no scene, no tears. Just silence. And trust me, silence hits different when people are used to you always explaining yourself. For 3 days, nothing. No calls, no texts. Because in their minds, they'd already won. They thought I'd finally been put in my place. They thought I'd crawl back, apologize, beg for help. But here's the thing they never understood. I wasn't leaving empty-handed. I was leaving with something they never even noticed I had. Proof. See, the story they told everyone was simple. I was 31, no real job, living at home, wasting time. But the truth was a lot less convenient. 3 years earlier, when my dad's construction business started going downhill, I moved back in temporarily. That's what we called it, temporary. Funny how temporary turned into me quietly holding everything together. I wasn't unemployed. I worked remotely. Operations consulting, project coordination, fixing systems for small companies that were falling apart behind the scenes. Not flashy work, but it paid well, and more importantly, I was good at it. At first, I just helped my dad with paperwork, invoices, scheduling, basic stuff. Then I noticed things slipping, missed payments, late permits, clients getting frustrated. So I stepped in. Fixed one thing, then another, then another. Before I knew it, I wasn't helping anymore. I was running the back end of his entire business. quietly. No title, no credit, just handling it. Every time something almost collapsed, I caught it before it hit the ground. Late insurance payment? Fixed. Client about to walk away? I smoothed it over. Payroll short? I covered the gap. Not once, not twice, dozens of times. But in public, oh, she just does stuff on her laptop. That's how they described me. That's how they all did. Because if they admitted what I actually did, the whole story would fall apart. And they couldn't have that. So I started documenting, not out of revenge, out of clarity. Every payment I made, every bill I covered, every time I stepped in and saved something they didn't even know was about to break. 3 years worth. When I finally added it all up, even I had to sit back for a minute. Because the number didn't just surprise me, it exposed everything. While they were calling me a freeloader, I had been the one keeping the lights on, literally. So when my dad stood in that backyard, laughing, telling people I had been living off him, I didn't argue, because arguing wouldn't change anything. But evidence? Evidence doesn't need permission. The first crack showed up 4 days after I left. A client's pulled out of a contract, something about missing paperwork. Normally, I would have caught that, fixed it before anyone even noticed. This time, I didn't. Then the software system stopped working because the backup payment method, mine, was gone. Then a supplier refused to deliver materials because invoices weren't being tracked properly anymore. Then payroll got tight, then really tight, then suddenly not funny anymore. That's when my phone started lighting up. At first, casual. Hey, quick question. Then more urgent. Can you log in real quick? Then desperate. Call me, please. I let it ring because for the first time, I wasn't the one fixing it. A week later, my dad finally said it. Something's wrong with the business. No, nothing was wrong. It was just exposed. See, systems like that only work when someone invisible is holding them together. Remove that person, everything shows exactly what it always was. Fragile. Messy. Built on denial. He called me 10 times that day. By the last voicemail, his voice wasn't angry anymore. It was scared. Riley, please, just call me back. We need to talk. We. Funny word. It's always we when things start falling apart. I agreed to meet. Not at the house. Not somewhere private. A public diner. Because if the truth was going to come out, it wasn't going to hide anymore. He showed up early. My brother came too. They both looked different. Not confident. Not smug. Just tired. I sat down and placed a folder on the table. Clean, organized, simple. He looked at it like it offended him. What is this? The truth, I said. He opened it, and for the first time in my life, he didn't have anything to say. Page after page, numbers, dates, records. Everything I had done. Everything they had ignored. Everything they had rewritten into something else. He flipped faster as he went, like if he moved quickly enough, it wouldn't be real. This is exaggerated, he said. It's not. Silence. My brother leaned in, reading. Is this all real? Every line. That's when it hit them. Not emotionally. Logically. They weren't losing me. They had already lost what I was doing, and they never even noticed. So what now? My dad asked. What do you want? I shook my head. Nothing. That confused him more than anything else. No money? No. No apology? I paused. I don't need one to move on. That landed harder than anything else I said, because for years they believed I needed something from them. Approval, support, validation. But the truth? The moment I left, I stopped needing all of it. He tried one last time. "You're just going to let everything fall apart?" I looked at him calmly. "It's not falling apart because I left. It's falling apart because I stopped holding it together." I stood up, and this time, I didn't look back. Months passed. The house got sold. The business shrank. People moved on. Life kept going. And me? I built something of my own. Bigger clients, better contracts, clear boundaries. No chaos, no constant fixing, just peace. Real peace. The kind you don't have to earn by sacrificing yourself. The photo? I still have it. That banner, that party, that moment they thought they had won. But every time I look at it now, I don't see humiliation. I see the exact second everything changed. The moment I stopped being their safety net and started being my own. Because the truth is simple. I was never the burden. I was the backbone. And the biggest mistake they ever made was thinking I'd keep carrying them after they laughed while pushing me out.